Question of the moment. Did Fall Out Boy save rock and roll like they intended to? A lot of you guys didn't think so. Pretty hefty promise, I think. And does topping the pop charts equal a job well done in the eyes of your true fans? Coming up on WreckedRadio. Well, I agreed with Hello Kitty 9008 when he or she said about how Save Rock and Roll has amazing lyrics. One thing that I look forward to when it comes to a Fall Out Boy album is some kick butt words and hooks and choruses and verses. And it's along the same themes, I think, as a lot of the other Fall Out Boy albums, including self-deprecation, violence, and sex. You know, the good stuff in life. So let's start off with Phoenix. I thought it was a powerhouse kickoff to the album, though it wasn't the first song that we heard. It wasn't the single, it was the second single, actually. It really opened up the album with this amazing orchestration and really just showed up for the fight. Owen O says, The Phoenix, this song is powerful, fierce, frantic, and overall just huge. Great vocals, a brilliant second single. Just a great song overall, infectious. Every lyric in this song and the next song, I believe, is incredibly snarky, pointed, and just fun. That was a comment that I said about the Paramore album. Very pointed, but not pointed at anyone specific. Just incredibly just mean and awesome. It included one of my favorite lyrics, favorite hooks practically. I will change you like a remix before I raise you like a phoenix. And this was accompanied by a video, as well as our next song, My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark, in parentheses, Light It Up. I put down in here in my notebook, it got everybody on our side. I feel like for years the people have been complaining about Fall Out Boy, saying they're not real music, they destroyed pop punk or rock or whatever you want to call them. But, you know, on WreckedRadio for years now, ever since the beginning, we've been Fall Out Boy fans for the most part. At least, let me phrase that. I've been Fall Out Boy fan and then projected that onto all of you. If you think about the last single that was on Folie à Deux, the first single that came out, so it's directly kind of correlating to that, it's completely the opposite. I Don't Care had a very nonchalant attitude. Didn't really give a damn about anybody or anything. The theme behind My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark was completely head on. It was very proactive, and it got you a little more excited than that teenage angst of I don't care, and I'm going to tell you about how I don't care. In this song, also, they include this aspect of female or childlike vocals in the background, and it reminds me a lot of Skrillex's work. In fact, the songs do include a lot of that really bass-driven, those bass-driven beats, and it's fresh. Well, I mean, it's not fresh because Skrillex already did that, but it is fresh to our generation, and it's something that signifies us. Now, I like to lump Alone Together and Where Did the Party Go together because I believe these are two songs that are very Patrick Stump. Now, one thing about this album that I was trying to do before I even, critiqued it on its lyrical value was to see what Pete wrote and what Patrick wrote. That was kind of hidden from us. My friend Valerie was able to look through the actual booklet, and I was able to see the Wikipedia page, which is a really good source to see who wrote what on an album, but it didn't specify. And when it did specify, it said that they both wrote it, as well as about 3 or 4 other people. Owen O says, Where Did the Party Go? I'm sorry, I just don't like this song. Too poppy and Kesha-like. Samantha Travis says that my least favorite is Alone Together. It's a cute track, but just doesn't have that unique sound that all the others seem to possess. I agree with that on some level. I agree that it's a little less Fall Out Boy and, like I said, a little bit more Patrick Stump. It kind of brought me back to Paramore's Be Alone, which is funny that they have the same theme and are pitted with each other so much because they came out with a huge comeback pop punk album at the same time. And it was happy and fun. It was a very positive song as opposed to a lot of the other ones that were kind of, I don't know what to say, but aggressive. They were very aggressive and forward. Where Did the Party Go was also fun. And And this kind of presented some new clean instrumentals, which reminds me of Patrick, all the same. Just One Yesterday was probably, I want to say, like my third or fourth favorite song. Black Leather Jacket says, I love Just One Yesterday. I love the entire album except the album titled song. I love Just One Yesterday too. I think it was a very cool spin on a conventional theme. I wish I could go back in time with you to when it was all good. That's something that we've heard quite a lot. The lyrics said it in that Fall Out Boy way of twisting words and coming up with a new way to say something. With Just One Yesterday, I also loved the female vocals on this the Foxes vocals. I don't know who Foxes are, but I like their contribution. One thing that I kind of cringed at is anything you say can and will be held against you, so only say my name. Britney Spears? Yes, thank you. The Mighty Fall. It seems like those three, Alone Together, Where Did the Party Go, and Just One Yesterday, were all clumped together as the kind of lighthearted, happy, positive, and otherwise Patrick Stump songs. The Mighty Fall jumps back to that the Phoenix and light it up in a way that it's aggressive again, and it's on those same power lines, as I like to say. And next we come to the only song on the album that I absolutely hated. Almost can't sit through it anymore. Why I hate it so much is because the melody and the theme basically are probably the most generic ideas I've ever heard. But besides that, when Pat was able to sing the chorus, these vocals, for some reason, were really reaching. He was, like, just at the tip of his vocal range. And I think Patrick is an amazing vocalist, especially when you compare him to the others in this genre, in pop-punk. But they pushed him up there into this range where he was struggling a little bit, where I don't know how he's going to sing this live on stage. Like, most bands have trouble singing their normal songs live on stage when they've done it so many times and have gone through night after night after night. This song's going to be torture. The only thing about this song is it had probably one of the coolest lines on the entire album, which sucks that it's in this song. Darkness gets bigger. The person you take a bullet for is behind the trigger. The first time I perceived that, I was just like, that was good. Death Valley, I think, is a huge, well, it's not mentioned a lot, but I feel like a lot of people do really love it. This one, I believe, reminded me most of Folie à Deux. It was fun, and for some reason, I believe this could have been on that album as well. Young Volcanoes, absolutely a crowd favorite. Now that one was unanimous. Olivia Anders says that look at that, Olivia. Oh, that's such a neat way to spell that name. Favorite song? Young Volcanoes, it's so freaking adorable. And then least fave, don't have one. Okay. So, and also My Mad Bad Monkey, 2 words, Young Volcanoes. First time I listened to this song, well, first couple times, I guess the first impression that I got of it is, I believe that a theme park can use this for a commercial. Can you imagine that? But after I saw the video, I cannot listen to the song without just thinking of the video. Okay, guys. So, Young Volcanoes was 3 of 11. Just from seeing the title on YouTube, you understand that Fall Out Boy is doing a video for every single song on this album, and they've already gotten through My Songs No. Then to the Phoenix was the second one, explaining how they got into the van, or where they started. And Young Volcanoes was a little excerpt from their little journey. I won't explain it. It was amazing and disgusting and just got to see. If you don't like Fall Out Boy, see it anyways. I also like the line in Young Volcanoes because it was a very happy-go-lucky song. The Boys Next Door's Out of Assholes line. Because as you were listening to it, you're like, wow, did they really throw that line in there? Because it's very, very pointed. I mean, Fall Out Boy is pointed, but that was pointed. And then Pat laughs after it. I think it was Pat. Someone did. Let's move on to a very controversial song. And that was Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. Oh, this was very polarizing, this song. I think the biggest problem that people had was their feature, Miss Courtney Love. Dinos Go Roar, 126. My only problem with Save Rock and Roll is Courtney Love. I like Rat Tat, but Pete Wentz, or anyone else for that matter, could have done Courtney's part much better. Sarah Hopkins, thank you for a normal name, said, my personal favorites on this album were Young Volcanoes and Just One Yesterday. I was surprised how much I didn't hate Courtney Love. And then Cheyenne Dickinson is probably one of the only ones that agrees with me. My number one song would have to be The Phoenix, with Rat-a-tat a close behind. Courtney Love brings in a much-needed gritty punk vibe. Now, I'm going to talk about this. There is a distinction between personality and musician, yet I don't believe that it has to be a distinction. Like, for example, probably one of the people that I'm really having a problem with right now is Tom Cruise, because I think he's nuts. You know, I'm a nuts person, but he's nuts. In a bad way. And I don't want to see any of his movies that are coming out recently. He even did a movie in my city, and I could care less because I do not like him. I think a lot of people feel the same way about some musicians, that once you know their personal behavior, you don't want to listen to their music anymore because you don't believe they're like you. And I think that if that is the case, don't listen to them and don't like them, because I do a lot of times. But I actually like Courtney Love. Despite what she is accused of, I think she's really talented, and I like Hole. And as I told you guys before, Pete and Courtney have been buddies for at least since like 2010 or something, since I went to go visit Decay Dance, because I saw her huge like poster on the wall where I was sitting at waiting for somebody to talk to me. This was a very important song though, because it included one of the lines, "We're all fine and growing old," which is a very important subject. Actually, my friend Valerie, you guys know Valerie if you've been watching the show for a long time, like a long time. She was able to read me an article last night that compared Paramore and Fall Out Boy, saying that Paramore and Fall Out Boy shared a lot of commonalities. They've been around for the same amount of time. They both went on hiatus at the same time and have now just come out with an album, the comeback album at the same time. Very comparable. Very comparable. The thing is, the article stated that Paramore was doing a lot more growing up than Fall Out Boy was. I don't agree with that. I think that Hayley was being very immature for what she had to say on her album, spending like half of the album complaining about her buddies that left her, when Fall Out Boy just really celebrated what they've achieved so far. Soak that in, because I really believe that's true what I just said. I believe that they had success in going off in their separate ways, and I mean, I do say this about a lot of bands who keep coming back. They are able to make the best album possible by truly knowing themselves as musicians. Every single one of those band members did that. They all had some kind of either solo or alternative collaborative band career, or project at least, and they came back with the subject matter that they wanted to discuss, and they did it. And according to, Wikipedia, doing it all very together. Save Rock and Roll was the last song, the album title song, and I believe this is not an anthem enough for this lofty promise of saving rock and roll. A lot of you guys like this song. In fact, both Nirvana Music Rocks one and Zeke's Master, I'm sorry, I wish I knew how to pronounce her name. They both believe that is up in their top songs, but I did not agree. This is kind of similar with What a Catch Donnie, I feel. I liked What a Catch Donnie for like 2 plays. I actually, if you know, I on my other Praise Love channel, I even have a spoof of it, and that's probably why I hate it, because I listened to it so many times. But this is really weak. Something really weird happened with my perception of Elton John. This is all my fault. I don't know why this happened. I know Elton John for his legacy of work. Crocodile Rock, Candle in the Wind. But whenever I heard this song, all I could think of was Lion King. I know that's stupid. I don't know why, but that's all I can think of. Does anybody else have that problem? I don't know. I give this album 4 out of 5, just like I did Paramore. I liked it, and I thought it was good, but not good enough to give it a 5-er. OS&O gave it 6.5 out of 10. That's a pretty low score. I guess me giving it up to 5 rating is a little bit tough. I can't change now though. Zake's Master gives it an overall 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good. Olivia Anders gives it 6 out of 5. That is quite generous. And to all of yous out there that did not contribute, you can contribute now down in the comment section, because that's what YouTube is for. I will see you guys next week when we talk about the newest stuff. You know what? I love rock music because there's always something going on. There's never been a week where I'm like, I've got nothing to talk about. So you guys are always entertained. Peace, love, rock.